Welcome back to our YouTube channel, guys. My name's Ardil and today's video is a sound off episode where we're talking all about a sound system on an amazing Lamborghini Urus that we're upgrading. You might be thinking, well, on a car like this of such a high value, such a high caliber of car, it must come with a really nice sound system. From Lamborghini, they do two systems. They've got the entry-level system as well as the fact they've got the B&O upgraded system, which comes with a massive 21 speakers. However, we're not adding 21 speakers. We're replacing and upgrading the set that are in there, as well as adding a few extra toys. In terms of the actual system, you might be thinking, well, it comes with an incredible system, even the bass system, but you stand corrected. Today's video is showing you a little bit more about what's inside a Urus. But before we get on to today's video, make sure you guys at home have subscribed to our YouTube channel because we've got a massive competition live on our channel at the moment. We're giving away a brand new PlayStation 5 as well as an Audison Prima amplifier. All the details are in the description below. However, let's get on with today's video. Starting off then at the front of the vehicle with those higher frequencies. The factory location for the factory tweeter sits on top of the dash. So this weighs in at 84 grams, and that's the factory tweeter. Then the Audison Thesis tweeter weighing in at 360 grams. So what are the actual differences between the two products? Firstly, I'm talking about actual physical dimensions as well as actually build quality and design. This has a metal framework, going to sound a lot more powerful basically, and also the frequency responses that this can play far outweighs the factory system here. In terms of the actual design, this is all very cheap plastic work, whereas this has a metal casing, as well as the fact the grille. Audison have been in the industry a long time, guys. So even everything on the grills, from the grills to the screws to every single element of this tweeter is specifically designed for the optimum car audio experience. These aren't home hi-fi brands, they're specifically for car hi-fi. The other thing is magnets. We've been talking about this in sound off videos for a while now, but this has a neodymium magnet and this has a ferrite magnet. So this is obviously going to perform a lot better than what you've got in the stock position. However, this is actually going to be adding into a custom A-pillar away from a stock location, which you can see all of that in a full behind the sound episode. So moving down in the frequency range, we're talking about mid-bass now. So we've got the factory 8-inch woofer, which weighs in at 752 grams. Then we've got the Audison Thesis 6.5-inch woofer weighing at 1,139 grams. So what are the differences between these two speakers? In terms of the actual what this woofer is doing from factory. So this is an 8-inch driver that sits in the bottom of the door card. This, because it doesn't have the actual Bang & Olufsen system from the upgraded system from Lamborghini, this is actually your designated sub as well as mid-bass vehicle. The reason why I'm calling this a sub is because what I'm going to show you might shock you guys. So what I'm going to show you on the back of here is that a magnet for a sub? Definitely not. I mean, even the Audison Thesis Sax has a far bigger magnet, and that is a designated mid-bass response. So firstly, you've got a plastic area here, which is the structure of it, ferrite magnet, which isn't going to perform as well as a neodymium magnet, as well as the fact about this little sticker. So this little sticker, I'll read this out for you guys. So this is running at what's called 4 ohm, which is kind of like the language of the component. The language of this component is also 4 ohm, so that's what's called the impedance. What we'll do, we'll list a little description about what impedance actually is in the description below. But I want to raise you to this. So this has a 20 watt continuous power load, and that's rated from the manufacturer. So it's 20 watts, right? That is all that speaker can play at in terms of a continuous power going to that product. So what's the difference between that and the Audison Thesis Sax? Bear in mind that that is pretending to be a sub. This has a continuous power of 150 watts, as well as the fact it has a peak power of nearly 300 watts that you can run into this component and it will still be performing. So say we're running at a continuous 150 over 20. I mean, this is pretending to be a sub, bear in mind, which you normally send a lot more power to as well. So how on earth is this going to sound anywhere decent? That's one of the reasons why the car's in with us, because of the difference in sound quality that this is going to have once we upgrade the system. We'll also be adding in designated subs into the vehicle. We're using the Hertzmeter Legend range, which isn't on display in sound off, but we're actually, if you follow us, subscribe to the channel, you'll see on Behind the Sound the full episode, and we're actually going to have a video coming up very soon, guys, which will talk about the custom sub box build that we're going to be adding on to the Urus. It's going to be a really special system. But comparing these two, you can see just by the 20-watt sticker that's written on here, as well as the fact of the actual component and design of the actual components here as well, this system is going to rock when it's done, and we're getting rid of these. Moving towards the back of the vehicle now, we're going to be talking about those high frequencies still, but creating that rear fill in the vehicle. What we've got is the factory tweeter weighing it in at 85 grams, and then the Audison Voce range tweeter, which is the AV 1.1, weighing at 72 grams. So again, what are the differences between these two? The reason why, and one thing you might note, is that we're not using the Audison Thesis tweeter here, we're using the Audison Voce. Reason is because we're going into a stock location for those rear speakers, and this actually sits in the B pillar of the vehicle. What you'll find is actually a similar size in terms of form factor, but you've obviously got a difference in magnet. Again, a very old school design, ferrite magnet over a neodymium magnet, but this is going to way outperform the actual factory tweeter. But it's very imperative that we have rear fill in the vehicle. Obviously, with the large area that we've got and large void inside the vehicle, we need to fill that area with sound, and this is a perfect way to balance across the sound, and we're running the system fully active. So we're going to have a lot of power going to this tweeter, so it performs absolutely amazingly, and well more than the actual 20-watt tweeter that we've got in here. Last but not least then, the rear speakers. So this is the factory system, so we're weighing in at 503 grams there. Then over to the rear speakers, we're using Audison Thesis again at 1,143. So what are the differences between the rear speakers and the Audison Thesis sacs that we'll be putting in? Obviously, again, very similar to what we saw against the 8-inch woofer in the front, but this is a 6.5-inch woofer. You've actually got a really large plastic design here. Again, plastic framework, ferrite magnet, over a metal framework, a purpose-built product that's designed to give an amazing amount of mid-bass performance and also lend itself to play those high frequencies too. But you've got a really nice neodymium magnet, the build quality, this cone design, the spider web that it's got inside it, absolutely phenomenal. In terms of obviously what we talked about on that front set of speakers, again, these are a 4-ohm set with 20 watts as a continuous power. I mean, it's just embarrassing, if you would, that you're having these sorts of products in the vehicle, obviously with the car that it is, or any car for that matter. When you do change to, say, Audison Thesis or any aftermarket component, the amount of power that you can send to these new components and really create a massive soundstage in the vehicle is going to make this car sound amazing. Hopefully you guys at home have enjoyed today's video and you've learned a little bit more and seen a little bit more about what we're removing from the Lamborghini Urus and what we're actually going to be putting in. But let's not forget about bass as well as amplification. We're going to be adding in some massive bass into custom boxes, which you can see here. We've got the actual Hertzmille Legend range going in. We're using 2 of these absolute powerhouse subs, as well as 4 Audison Voce Class AB amplification setup hidden away underneath the floor. There is loads of content coming, plus we're fully soundproofing the vehicle as well. Make sure you guys at home subscribe so you don't miss any of our behind the sound videos that are going to be on this absolutely stunning Lamborghini Urus. You can check out the first video by clicking up the link up here. But thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We'll see you all very soon.